It took her more than a month, but Kamala Harris will no longer be in hiding this Thursday. We've just learned that the vice president and her VP pick, Tim Walz, will sit down for a joint interview with CNN. It comes as Charlemagne the God has been calling out Harris for dodging the press. The popular radio host was responding to a rapper who said that the vice president didn't owe black voters an explanation of her policies and that they should just settle. Charlemagne strongly disagrees.
Votes are earned, not given, and they are earned through you going out there and explaining yourself. Vice President Kamala Harris has to go out there and explain her agenda and why she's the person for the job. Former President Donald Trump has to go out there and explain his agenda. And by the way, they should be explaining without us asking.
But Tim Walz gave an early scoop to a TikToker named Subway Takes.
So what's your take?
My take is the most neglected part of home ownership is the gutters. It's personal for me.
100% agree.
I've had problems with gutters before. You get your basement wet, you get ash dams, cause a lot of problems.
It's not good.
Wow. All right, Dana, I'm going to go to you first. Okay. So now we just find out that there's going to be this debate on Thursday, not this debate, but this interview with Kamala and Walz on CNN. But it's a Thursday night before the Friday of Labor Day weekend. Nobody's coming back until Tuesday. Do they plan it this way so everyone will forget?
Okay, so a couple of things. I think it's great. We're going to have an interview. Good. I think good choice. Dana Bash, CNN, fine, great. But a couple of things. So they had a very good convention. And then they have a little bit of a lead in some of the swing states. And then they sat on their lead. And you didn't see them for 5 days. And now the stakes for this interview, for everybody, for the anchor that's doing the interview, for both Harris and Walz, now is all the way up here. Why would you do that? Why not just like do a quick interview? Do it. I don't understand. So I think the strategy is interesting, but I think we have a little bit of a clue as to why they are doing it together. Today in Political Playbook, there was a piece this morning that said that the campaign is reluctant to put Tim Walz out to do interviews on his own because even he doesn't know what her policies are, or at least they don't have the same policies or policies. They're not on the same page. And if there's one thing the media can do, they can expose daylight between two candidates. Like there's a smidgen of daylight between them that will be exacerbated in the press. So that's why I think they have to do it together. But I guess glad that they're doing it.
Well, yeah, it's a good idea, Jesse, that they're doing it. But together, I mean, it's almost as is she like signaling that she can't do it alone, that she can't do a thorough, long interview?
Traditionally, you do the joint interview after the convention. That's what Trump and Vance did. That's what happens with the ticket. She waited, though, way too long. And Walz is her security blanket. I expect him to talk most of the time. But the power has shifted, Judge, from the politicians to the people in the age of information. We're sitting around with all this power, and we don't know what to do with it. We can mobilize, we can donate, we can communicate, we can mobilize, and with this thing right here on our phones. We don't even need to do anything. We could get people at town halls going crazy. We could flood the phone banks in Congress, but we don't. We sit around and complain. And I say this as someone who gets paid to sit around and complain. But we used to have a lot more of an action-oriented country. And look around. You got cities that don't look great. You got a border open. You got jails open. Prices are too high. And everybody agrees with me. But we don't do anything about it. Why? Because we don't demand our politicians do anything about it. And we have such low expectations for the politicians. Then they like that because then they don't really have to do anything because not doing something is easier than doing something. And they can just run on the same problems that have always been around instead of fixing them. But all these politicians have to do is submit themselves to questioning because they're public servants. And usually the media acts as kind of the conduit for the questions that the people have. All the people, not just some people. And that tension is healthy. When you have to say, all right, you know what? I'm not about my selfish interest. I'm for the public's interest. She won't do that. She's afraid of the risk that she might incur by saying the wrong thing or saying something unpopular. Donald Trump's not afraid of that risk. And we want somebody who's not afraid of getting to know who they are or knowing what their vision is. And you don't accept that from your wife. You don't accept it from a CEO of a company. Why should we accept it from the president?
Okay, Jessica.
That was a rhetorical question.
Yes, good idea.
Thanks for clarifying.
Good idea. You know, this rapper who said that Harris doesn't owe the voters an explanation. There are a lot of people who think that way, and people in the Democrat Party, I'm sure, would prefer that Kamala not say anything. I mean, even her economic plan, it was panned by both sides, the price gauging, she called it.
It was, but it was out there, and you can go and read the policies, and the website will be filled out to completion. And I land somewhere between what Charlemagne was saying and what that rapper was saying. So I do think doing the interviews is important. And anyone who is going to then criticize her doing this with Dana Bash isn't being an honest broker. No offense, Jesse. They would complain about anything. Dana Bash is a wonderful interviewer, and she was very good moderating the debate with Trump. He even said that she did a great job. So I think it's a good pick for that reason. Going out there with VP Walz, or soon to be VP Walz, I hope, lets you get to know the ticket in full. And if you were listening to Kamala talk about her experience at the convention in the Thursday night speech, can't really say she's afraid of anything. This doesn't seem like a woman who is cowering in the corner about this. She might be concerned about the kind of coverage that she's going to get of these things and the people who are, again, not being honest brokers and will be detractors no matter what she does. But I don't think it's because she's afraid. I do want the viewers, the voters, all of them to be able to see her and get to know her, because we know that this election will be decided by 200,000 people over a smattering of states, and some of them might feel really strongly about this. And there's an argument as well for doing a bunch of mini interviews instead of these really big ones where it's so high pressure, high stakes. But there is a very solid record, especially when it comes to Black voters, for Kamala Harris to be running on based on what they accomplished during the Biden-Harris administration, from over 2.5 million jobs for Black people, the lowest unemployment in American history for Black Americans, and also the smallest gap between white unemployment and Black unemployment, $16 billion for HBCUs, all of the high-speed internet access, et cetera, investing all this money into infrastructure to make sure that Black Americans have access to economic opportunities like the transportation to get there to the jobs. Those are all things that I hope that she will talk about in this interview. And I think that it would show Charlemagne that she is ready to play. She's ready to earn those votes. We're not taking anything for granted.
Okay, Greg, do you agree with that?
No. I mean, I don't believe it. I mean, all that stuff you just said.
Like all the facts.
No, it's like you talked about, like the historical low unemployment. That was under Trump. You talked about these jobs. Yes, it was.
It's lower under Biden than Trump.
No, well, no, it wasn't.
Yes, it.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
I can do this all day.
So could I.
I can do. I'll
So
I'll do it all day.
Great.
Look, here's the deal. You know what?
Yes, it was.
Is it just me? No, it wasn't. Charlemagne. He seems like he's debating himself half the time. And I think he does that just so he can get on this show, and it's worked again. I love the fact that Kamala is reporter shopping. You know, it's incredible. It's like she's curating the campaign. Actually, somebody's doing it for her. It's like it's not a campaign. It's a coming out party, and she's the debutante. So they're gonna send out the Evites. You know, they're gonna tell you what to wear. It's just frustrating to see the candidates having their way with the media. I find it absolutely offensive. They're rolling her out like she's a rare panda. No, and by the way, why are we the ones that are micromanaging this stuff? I don't care how they do it. It doesn't. It's just so stupid. This stuff is stupid. It's weird though to see everybody in agreement about their candidate. The less you see of her, the better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's hilarious. They're not even hiding the fact that they need to hide her and that they need to have her with somebody else, because 1 + 1 just equals 1.
I need to make another clarification. Yesterday on the show, I said pandas have a similar thumbprint than humans. It's actually koala bears. Again, I'm deeply sorry
Well,
if anybody
you did well in that
misconstrued my
trivia
statement.
Jesse, thank you. Anything else you want to say?
Not for now.
The koala
Okay, good
bears
idea.
accept it.
All right, ahead. Donald Trump is
Yes, it
schooling
was.
America's AI czar, Kamala Harris, on how America can win the artificial intelligence.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.